this is a microphone. In my hands, it's a pipe bomb. You will apologize. And you will like it.
in anyone else's hands, I promise you, this is just a microphone. But tonight, in our hands, this motherfucker is a pipe bomb. Welcome to Through the Fire podcast. Yo, the most critical corner on YouTube where we burn through the nonsense to get to an honest perspective. That's who we are over here at Through the Fire podcast. I appreciate you, those who are in the chat that are joining us. Put those flames in the chat because we got a special guest that you guys we're going to roll to in a little bit. All right, listen. By the time we're done tonight, I hope that you guys will understand one valuable thing. And I know it's going to sound a little weird to you, some of you. By the time we're done tonight, I hope you understand that we are all basically from one dark flame. Whether it's culture, the crazy state of Black folk, over here at Through the Fire podcast, you're going to get the kind of practical take that I am calling very unapologetic. And if you came over here looking for a safe space or political correctness, well, you just might want to keep it moving. Or like my girl, that's my special guest says, just scroll the fuck up. Just scroll the fuck up. If you're looking for a safe place over here and some political correctness, just scroll the fuck up. And please do me a favor, hit the like button. And as always, when you hear something you like, put them flames in the chat. When you see somebody up here that you like, put them flames on the chat. And if you see or hear something you don't like, put them motherfucking flames in the chat. So let me explain something to y'all. We almost did not have a stream today. Yesterday, my complete system went out. The computer, my brand new, the computer I got for the Through the Fire podcast studio, it's brand new. It went out. My laptop, I said, well, I'll just run it through the laptop. I've only had it 3 days, paid $2,500. It went out. The internet went out. I had to go to the internet place twice today to get new routers twice. I had to go to the computer store twice. Oh my goodness. I literally got everything good and running at about 3:30, brought everything home, hooked everything up, ran everything through a test, and at 5:30 was like, the internet crashed again. So listen, we gonna rock with this thing until either we're done or unless my technology, I've been doing this now for 2 years. Never had any technical technology issue, but today had every gremlin unknown to mankind. Maybe it's because of what we're going to be talking about today. I don't know, but we're going to get to it today. Put them flames in the chat. Put them flames in the chat for my special guest. And listen, so everybody that's watching, I normally don't give you the breakdown of what we're going to do today, but I'm going to need to give you the breakdown today. So what we're going to do today, I'm going to start off the show talking about how money has corrupted the souls of us. Then we're going to tie that into, we got all of this crap that went down with Cooley over the last couple of weeks, and everybody, and I'm going to talk about how people have how people have, not just women, but men as well, have perverted the whole notion of high value and what Kevin Samuels was talking about. There is a movement to just discredit and dishonor this man based on perverted takes on his actual message. So we're going to spend some time out of the horse's mouth having him break down what high value is, what it means, and stuff like that. We're going to do that. And then the other thing that's been tearing up the social media over the last month is this war against Black men who require or need their woman to contribute to the development of the home. And the fact that, man, we're trying to trash these brothers, and we got men out here trying to trash these brothers because, for some strange reason, your woman financially contributing to the household, somehow that makes you less of a man. We're going to deal with that today because we're going to talk to a wife. We're going to talk to a wife. And we're going to talk to a wife about that concept, the 50-50 concept. So sit back. Let's get into this shit. Put them flames in the chat. And also, never hesitate to super chat a brother, because, we appreciate that over here. So put them flames in the chat, and we finna get going, okay? So y'all just roll with me. I like to do a little something, so just roll with me. Okay, here's how I want to start this concept, all right? Listen, I'm a huge, and do not clown me for this, because I already know it's fake. Just like everything else on TV, just like almost everything on social media, everything is scripted. So I don't want to hear it's fake. I don't want to hear it. I am a huge professional wrestling fan. I love me some wrestling. We called it wrestling growing up. I love me some wrestling. Every Monday, every Friday, and every month on Saturday, when they doing their premium live events, I am tuned in. Well, I'm usually at work, so I actually DVR the shit, and then during my downtime at work, I watch it with my headphones, laughing and talking and all this other stuff. People looking at me like I'm weird. Ain't that for kids? It's for whoever the hell can pay for it. So fuck you. I love me some professional wrestling. So I want to use that today to talk about the subject, okay? There's a concept in the world of professional wrestling called the heel and the face, the good guy and the bad guy. Now, this dynamic between the heel and the face, it plays a vital role in telling a story in the world of professional wrestling. And it also tells a pivotal role. It's a pivotal role in telling the story of the Bible, too. The good guy versus the bad guy, the heel and the face. The face is the hero, the good guy, a symbol, of integrity, a symbol of resilience, a symbol of honor, and a symbol of inspiration. The heel, on the other hand, is the villain or the bad guy. And the bad guy or the villain or the heel, as they call it in the wrestling, that person is often selfish, they're conniving, and they're driven by destructive motives. And a heel will destroy themselves. A heel will sacrifice themselves just to hurt and destroy you. So what happens when the face or the good guy starts doing things or acting like the heel? How do you reconcile those actions when you got somebody who's supposed to be the face or the good guy, and all of a sudden the good guy, the face or the heel the face is doing heel or bad guy stuff? The concept of good and bad can get convoluted and can get murky and distorted when you got the good guy doing bad guy shit. And people usually, when that happens, people are usually left questioning who's the real villain. So this metaphor that I'm taking from professional wrestling is a mirror to the cultural and social dynamics we observe in real life, specifically with Black people. So historically, in this country, Black folks have held the role of the face or the good guy in the storyline of the United States. In professional wrestling, they do something like storylines. They do storylines on the Young and the Restless. They do storylines on Survivor. They do storylines on the Real Housewives of who the fuck ever. The storyline of the United States, the Black people, believe it or not, have always been the face, the good guy, because we have endured centuries of issues, including an attempt at cultural eradication. And some people can make the argument that they've destroyed the culture. And the resilience of Black folks have been a testament to how a peoples can have a capacity to rise and to evolve. The civil rights movement, it's one of the most prominent examples of when people can be seen as a face or the good guy. In the systematic culture of the United States during that time was the bad guy. The civil rights movement was a classic good guy versus bad guy fight to a degree. And the good guys, for a time, black folk seemingly won because we won over the hearts of the majority of the country during that time. The very struggle to overcome those barriers highlighted that black folk in this country at one time had the moral high ground because black folk did not participate in bad guy shit. During that time, blacks, we were the embodiment of virtue. However, hold on, I forgot to turn my cooker on. Hold on a second. Is my cooker on? There we go. However, fast forward to today. The narrative about blacks is a little murky. But let us examine how certain behaviors that we have shifted the culture and blurred the lines between who the good guy is and who the bad guy is. We're talking about the face and the heel roles. A lot of folk are confused or have shown some confusion based on the obsession with materialism and the destructive impact that money over everything has done to black folk. When people idolize like money at the expense of character, when relationships are commodified, meaning we use relationships as a financial gain, and when success is only measured in dollars, the face, the good guy, begins to look and act like the heel, a bad guy. And unfortunately, black people, I'm here to break some bad news to you. Despite what we may think, we are no longer the good guy. We are no longer the face because today we do too much bad guy shit to be considered the good guy. We have evolved into the heels or the bad guys of our own story. The black story today, the bad guy is us. We don't have a good guy for our story anymore. Prior to today, the bad guy was America's attitude and system against us. But because we've gained so many strides over the last 60 years that we have forgotten, and we have looked at what they were doing and wanted more of what they were doing, and we started doing bad guy shit. So how in the world can anybody expect to treat you a certain kind of way when you're the bad guy? The bad guy don't get treated good.
Since we're talking about the mentality of our culture, there's one thing I would love to drop. We discussed this earlier. I really would like to drop this title because we just can't seem to come to a total definition on it. It's this high value blank. You can put whatever, high value cat, high value dog, high value eagle, man, woman. Like I think we should get rid of that because it's really throwing a lot of people off and overvaluing themselves, or you know what I'm saying. So I just think that we need to just drop it. Like it was stated, most people are average, and There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, I'm average. Woo. Take off all this other stuff and just some regular chick, just
Mm.
online talking. Um. So I'm gonna. Oops! I just got rid of it. No.
Oh Lord, not again.
So okay, I know, right? Okay, so what do you think about what I just proposed? Do you think we should get rid of the word high value?
There's no such thing as high value because, like I said, if you were so high in value, you wouldn't be looking. They would have been came in, took you off the market on you. You don't have to still sit here for 2, 3 years on social media saying you're high value, but you've been single the whole time.
Shout out to Messy Michonne with the 12-month membership. I'm almost done. Yeah, Michonne was still live when I hit the live button over here. She goes, I'll be back. We need you back, Michonne. And for that acknowledgement of your 12-month membership, here we go. We got something for you, Michonne.
Keep it gangsta, dog. Keep it gangsta. 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 I wanna thank you all. I wanna thank you all. I wanna thank you. Keep it gangsta, dog. Keep it gangsta.
All right. Yeah, keep it gangster, y'all. Keep it gangster. Thank you, Michonne, for that, for your 12-month membership. I appreciate that. Appreciate you. All right, everybody, listen. So you heard my setup, right? So we're ready to go. We're locked in. So let's have a down and dirty conversation tonight because let me say this to you, and I'm not trying to be like overly dramatic about the shit, but let me explain this to you. And I don't know if anybody's noticed this, but black people, we got a problem. We have a stage 4 problem, and it's more relentless than cancer. And that problem is it's this damn obsession with getting the bag. You know, we've turned chasing money into a full-blown religion. You know, it's like it's the gospel of Benjamin Franklin, the scripture of he must like to travel, and the holy word of the Instagram flex. This so-called pursuit of the bag has left us terminal, has left us broken, and has left us bankrupt. Now listen to me. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not gonna sit up here like I work on. I have 2 full-time jobs. One job by itself, I work 60 hours a week on one job and 35 hours a week on another. I'm not gonna sit up here and say that money ain't important. We all got bills, and those bills, they never late to the party. If the one thing that never shows, that always show up on time is a motherfucking bill and a fucking car and a car breakdown and a sickness. Those things are always on time, right on time, even if you wasn't expecting it on time. It shows up. So I'm not going to sit up here and pretend like we don't need money and money is not important and it's not a tool that we need to keep moving through this life. We're not going to sit up here and say that at all. We're not going to have that perspective at all. I'm just telling you that right now. Just because I'm going to go in about our social with money doesn't mean for one second that I do not recognize that we don't need our dollars. We need them damn dollars. We need them. But let me tell you what the Bible says. The Bible also, and this is, I'm not going to get overly religious with you on this stream, but I want to point out a few things for those of you who call yourself Christians and call yourself trying to live right, trying to take something from the word and trying to apply it to your life. Let me say this. The Bible cautions every one of us to not become a slave to debt. So even the Bible says it's okay to make money. The Bible also emphasizes for us to be financially responsible. The Bible doesn't even say that you can't have no money. The Bible doesn't say that you can't have a lot of money. The Bible doesn't say that you can't that you can't chase it to a degree. The Bible doesn't say that you can't stack it. The Bible doesn't say you can't do none of that. Proverbs 22:7. The rich rule over the poor, and the borrower is the slave to the lender. Debt can create a burden that limits freedom and opportunity. So we're not saying that money is the corruptible thing. Money is useful in its proper context. You know, what about Romans 13:8? It says, let no debt remain outstanding. The Bible saying, pay your damn bills. Kofa, I see you in the chat. Nigga, pay your bills. The Bible said pay the bill. Oh. Let me clean it up for kosher. The Quran tells you to pay the bills, kosher. Kofa. Kofa, pay your damn bills. The Quran says pay your goddamn bills, Kofa. Pay your goddamn bills. The only debt that the Bible says that you can incur, whatever the hell the word, y'all know what I'm trying to say. The Romans 13:8, the one that says, let no debt remain outstanding. There is an exception to that rule. There is a debt that you can let remain outstanding, and that is except the continuing debt to love one another. That's the only debt you can be in. That's according to Romans 13:8. You don't believe me? That's why I'm giving you what it is, so you go look the shit up yourself. What about Hebrews 13:5? Keep your lives free from the love of money and be content. Be content with what you have, because God has and will never, and this is a quote, he said, never will I leave you, never will I forsake you. He wants you to be content. He wants you to be content. Shout out to my boy Kofa with the $10 super chat. Somebody say money. You're damn right. We talking about money today, Kofa. Support black male media. Hey, y'all, hey, Kofa, because you gave me a $10 super chat, I got a $10 super chat walk for you, brother, and I think you're gonna love it, okay? Here's what I call the $10 cesarean.
Obvious, you been used to lanes. You never been this high, these drugs is private planes. All these niggas they fraud, they can't come near this lane. CONCRET, that's my game. Million spent on chains versus diamond rings.
That's what my boy Kofa for the $10 super chat, brother. I appreciate you. I appreciate. My guest in the back is, see, y'all can't see my guest in the back. My guest in the back is shaking their head at me, boy. They shaking my. I'm a man, ain't I? I'm a man, ain't I? I'm a man, ain't I? Let's talk about content, because we often talk about ambition a lot. And like women talk about how they want their men to have all this goddamn ambition. But let's talk about content. Hebrews 13:5 says, keep your lives free from the love of money and be content with what you have, because God has said, never will I leave you, never will I forsake you. The word content seems to really, really, really trigger a lot of black women, a lot of women in general. I tell people all the time, men build their lives to obtain their goals, to complete their goals, and to enjoy them. Women tend to build their lives, set out goals, get their goal, just to go do something else. Women go, okay, now I got this, what's next? Men go, now I have conquered this, let me bask in my accomplishments. That's a very distinct, those are two different distinct paths, you know? And a lot of men get content. They work to get content. And content refers to a state of being satisfied and at peace with what you have, regardless of the circumstances. It's the ability to find joy um, without constantly having to strive for more and more and more and more and more. Being content is not about lacking. Being content is also not you being complacent. It doesn't mean giving up on ambition or giving up on goals. Being content, rather, is about maintaining a sense of gratitude. When you are content, you are expressing your gratefulness for something. When you are content, you are being grateful. So, side note, when I was married, I had this very conversation with my wife. She was always whining and complaining about what the fuck we didn't have and what else we needed. It was a constant state of just complaining. And I said to her, do you not understand that we are okay? We have no debt. We can go and come as we please. If we need to, we both got a car. If we got to buy 8 tires, we can buy 8 tires without having to worry about what's going to happen next month or next week. We're not wealthy, we're not rich, but we are in a good place. Why don't you see that we are okay? Why don't you see that we are better than the average Joe right now? I was content. She called me that I lacked motivation and I didn't have any ambition. Good God. That is a destructive way of poisoning your relationship. I'm going to reiterate, being content does not mean you lack ambition. Being content often means that you are being grateful for what you have and what you have achieved. Black people right now are not grateful for what they have and what they have achieved. And a lot of our ladies, I'm not trying to pick on our ladies because later on in the stream, I'm going to actually talk about the awesomeness of our ladies historically, often are dissatisfied with the term content. You hear women now talking about building. Women ain't never talked about building a goddamn thing. Every woman wants to build. Men build. Women reap the rewards of the building. And I'm not saying no woman can't build nothing, but every time you hear, oh, I'm going to get a man and we going to level, I'm going to get him to level up. You can't get a man to do nothing. You can't even get a man to stick around and help you raise your kids that he fostered. So how the fuck you going to get a man to help you build anything? Philippians 4:11 said, I have learned to be content whatever the circumstances. I know what it is to be in need, and I know what it is to have plenty. I have learned the secret of being content in any and every situation. Even if you are not in the most optimal situation, there are things in your situation where you can be grateful. You can be grateful. Me personally, my money is tight. I had to do some things back in August to rescue my grandmother in a situation which have led me to be tight right now. I can sit here every day being all tore up and twisted up about the money being tight, but I don't have a mortgage payment due till February because I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the wisdom that I had to pay up when I had extra to pay up. So while the money is tight right now, it can be tight because I ain't got to worry about my biggest bill right now. I still got a whole nother month, 2 months to be worried about my biggest bill. And so I can work on getting out of this tightness that I feel, being grateful no matter what the situation. Even in not optimal situations, being content and being grateful is okay. But somewhere along the way, the bag that we talk about, that it should be a tool, stopped being a tool. And like a false idol, the bag has demanded a sacrifice. And what we have sacrificed, we've sacrificed Black families, Black relationships, Black bonds, and we sacrificed it at the altar of getting the bag. Flexing is the new love language of Black people. But here's the quiet part out loud. 40% of Black households have no savings. None. And that's according to the National Institute on Retirement Security. The same bag you think you're chasing is the same bag you regret not protecting the right way when the lights get turned off, when the eviction notice get come, when the repo man shows up. And you know what's worse than all of this? You know what's worse than all of this? The world is laughing at us because they can see it. This obsession with us getting the bag is a stage 4 cancer that has eaten at the very heart of who we are. Relationships, or any relationship with Black people right now, is only transactional. What we do with one another is transactional, and what we expect out of other people is transactional. You don't believe me? You got a lot of Black women saying, I don't know if I'm gonna say this. No, I'm gonna say this. You got a lot of Black women out here talking about, I'll suck your dick to be a signer on your checking account and the sole beneficiary on your burial policy. And then you got men talking about, I'll throw something on the daycare if you just let me bend you over the toilet for the gram. That's where we at. This whole notion of families don't exist for us anymore. And the worst part, we think this shit's normal. We think this chaos is just how it's supposed to be. And we absolutely love to be finessed, and we love the ones who finesse us even more. We love scammers.
Back, relax, and let's get it. Right? Or the type of guys you prefer? Scammer, drug dealer, or 9 to 5?
Drug dealer. I want him to move that weight.
I'm your pusher man.
I'm trying to be on the YouTube. Respectfully, it is what it is.
Scammer, 9 to 5 drug dealer.
Wow, that was quick. Oh, you had this planned out. She had this planned out. She's the expert. That's her whole model right now.
9 to 5 is more reliable, but scamming niggas gonna get you what you want.
Do you got a scamming nigga right now?
No.
You don't got the 9 to 5 nigga?
I don't have anybody.
You don't got the drug dealer nigga?
I don't have nobody.
I have nobody.
Damn, she's lonely. Damn.
It is.
They better slide on her DMs or something. She's taking application for the winter.
I am.
Oh, say less.
I tell the world I prefer 9 to 5, but I really want a scammer in my heart. No funny shit. Because
who are you, bitch?
We didn't care shit.
They heard that in that video. To you.
Whoa, nah. He said, "Who are you, bitch?" Is crazy. He's on bad. Hold on.
Like,
This man, come to the camera. Hold on. This man is on bad timing.
I just don't figure out who the fuck that bitch is. That's my friend over there.
Oh, you see, ladies, you gotta have a friend like this, because he is backing you up.
He in the friend zone.
I need a drug dealer and then a scammer, then fuck the 9 to 5. I want the scammer first, then the drug dealer, then the 9 to 5.
They like the fast money over here.
Because the fast money niggas, they got time. They can take you out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday,
But
Friday.
you just complain you didn't want the
only.
Talk about a bold reckoning we're having here. We are nothing from nowhere, and we're nowhere at all. We are nothing from nowhere, and we are nowhere at all. Let's call it what it is. The love of money is a cancer eating us alive. And no, don't roll your eyes at me pretending like it's somebody else's problem. This isn't society doing this to us. Here's the quiet part out loud. It's us. We willingly, deliberately, gleefully fanning the flames of our own damn destruction in anybody else's hands. This is just a microphone. But in my hands, our hands tonight, it's a fucking pipe bomb. As a culture, we're drunk on getting the bad. We're so hooked on stunting as a habit, we've just disconnected from what made Black people the world's greatest. We were the world's greatest. Integrity gone. Honor gone. Legacy gone. And you know what? Integrity, honor, legacy. We scoff at those right now. We scoff at them. We threw them in the gutter, and we laugh all the way to Instagram with counterfeit bravado. The chase for the bag replaced the fight for our family, of a real legacy, of a real something to leave behind. And the other quiet part out loud is, we know it. We know exactly what we've done, and most of us could care less, because we are all one dark flame. I will no longer allow people around me to keep pretending we're victims. We're not victims. We haven't been real victims in decades, but instead, we are the arsonists to our own burning building. We've poured gasoline on our own values and torched them for likes, for shares, for views, for lashes, for wigs, for BBLs, and for false high value standards. And the worst part, we're fucking proud of it. You know what we do? We go around stunting with a buy here, pay here scat pack while facing eviction and pretending like a $48,000 a year community support specialist that works for the Urban League is given brokey. And now here we are, being asphyxiated by our own damn greed. Relationships and people, for us, are disposable. And an entire generation is being taught that their worth is tied to their wallets or their followers. So how do we let it get this far? And that's a rhetorical question. We let it get this far because we wanted it to get this way. That's the quiet part out loud. We're all one dark flame. Shout out to my buddy, The Experience. Kids I teach, 11 to 14, tell me often that they're going to be scammers and OnlyFans people. Whoa, that is wild. That is absolutely wild. He said kids that he teaches that are 11 to 14 years old, 11 to 14 years old, tell him that they want to be scammers and OnlyFans. Wow. Shout out to The Experience for the $5. Here you go. Here you, brother, I got something real bouncy for you for that $5.
Bossman, turn around, man.
Yeah, you get real bouncy for the $5. You real bouncy for the $5. We are all one dark flame. In anybody else's hands, this is just a microphone. But in my hands, it's a damn pipe bomb.
So this woman is going viral for saying this about her date and paying for her nails the moment that she brought it up.
I told you I was going to get my nails done.
You about to go do that right now?
Yeah.
Oh, for real? How you going to get them done?
I don't really know yet.
Okay, then you go and get them grippers down. Well, shit, look, just go ahead and call me back. After you get them done, we'll just FaceTime. And I'll let you know the plans after that.
I mean, that's it? Like, you're not going to ask for my cash up or nothing?
Your cash out for what?
You invited me on a date and I need my nails done. I mean, I thought it would click in your head while I'm telling you I'm going to get my nails done.
No, I asked you on the, I'm not, wait, hold up. back up. I gotta get your nails done to take you on a date.
Yes, you do. Like, if you invite me on a date, I have to look a certain way. And it's your job as a man to make sure I look like that. Like, baby, who raised you? It seems like your parents failed.
You just said it, though. I'm not your man yet.
Okay, but you're trying to be. Taking me on a date mean you trying to be my man, right?
I'm trying to be. I'm not
okay, so you need to show me that you even worthy of me giving you my goddamn time.
Wow, that's crazy. I pay for my girl dates, but I don't even. I'm still trying to get to know.
It's giving broke energy. It's giving broke energy. It's giving broke. It's giving broke. It's giving broke. Y'all do so sassy. You a little sassy ass motherfucker. Y'all. It's giving broke. You good? Don't contact me. You good? Fuck up.
It's giving broke. It's giving broke. Y'all do so sassy because you won't do my hair, get my hair done, nails done just for a first date. You sassy broke niggas. Let's stop pretending that we are not the architects of our own damn destruction. Nobody forced us into this shit, into this chaos. We walked into it willingly. We glorify greed. We elevate entitlement and made selfishness our gospel. And now, here we are, standing over the wreckage of our culture. You got hundreds of us out here on YouTube trying to figure out what happened when the majority of us are proud of the damn devastation we caused. As if learning, as if tearing ourselves apart is some kind of twisted flex. The quiet part out loud, we know we burnt it to the ground, and we're fucking proud of it. Proud to stomp on our traditions, and proud to reject accountability, and proud to make it rain even if it drowns our souls. But let me tell you something. We need to stop lying that we got money. We lying when we talk about we got money. We ain't got shit. Let me say it a little louder for the people in the back with dunce caps on. We're not just complicit, we're the architects. Every chase the bag anthem and every do it for the clout move, every I don't need nobody proclamation is another brick in the wall of our own self-imposed prison. We don't just burn the bridge. We just don't burn the bridge. We nuke the whole goddamn village. And for what? Stacks of cash that we lie about? For what? Stacks of cash that we lie about. And what about the time we can't buy back? Shout out to Messy Michonne with the $10 super sticker. Darling, thank you so much. I'm glad you're over here. I know you did your thing over there. I stayed over there for Gremlin Night as long as I could in the chat. Hey, Messy, I got for your $10 super chat and your 12-month membership, I got something special. Here we go.
Hood fame, everybody know my name when I come through. But don't nobody screaming like you. I was having visions with you, doing things, switching lanes in the...
Yeah, thank you for the $10 super sticker, Messy Michonne. She's talking about rant. Yeah. The quiet part is we don't care. We don't care. And deep down, we know the truth. And deep down, we know the truth. If you think I'm lying, look around. Let's be real. This is the damage we've done to ourselves. The kind of damage that we did, 246 years of slavery and 90 years of segregation couldn't do the kind of damage that we did to ourselves in the last 60 years. We did it piece by piece, and we did it on a rocket ship. We've stomped out any kind of purposeful life for us. all for selfishness and all for fucking chaos. This so-called system did not destroy us. We did it ourselves. We did it ourselves.
If I were a woman, I would dismiss any man that came up with a conversation about 50-50 because he's lacking somewhere in terms of his masculinity. I don't think a woman should ever marry a man that does not have a mind to 100% provide for her. That 100% heart as a man, you have to simply clearly communicate where you're going to your woman so that she understands every day in and out that this is not where we're parking at. That's really the currency that a woman needs to stay motivated in a relationship with a man. The 50-50, it's not about the money.
It's not about the money.
It's mindset. And when women have an issue with 50-50, what they're subconsciously, they may not even realize it. They are upset about the fact that this dude is not showing up as a whole man.
This dude is not showing up as a whole man. If he got to go 50-50, he ain't showing up as a whole man. We got men out here with female talking points, calling himself a fucking man, trying to tell a man what a man should do, and he talking like a goddamn woman. Let's stop pretending. Let's stop pretending and call this travesty what it truly is. Money isn't the enemy here. Believe it or not, money is not the enemy. I start off by saying that we need them dollars. Money isn't the enemy here. We are. We are. The dollars in your pocket, the coins jingling in your pocket, the digits in your bank account aren't the issue. It's the obsession, the unrelenting pursuit of some so-called wealth at all costs. And here's what's funny. Ain't none of us getting there. That's the butt-naked truth. All of this pursuit, all of this building, where in the fuck? If everybody that's out here that's talking about building, level up, I ain't going up 50-50. If all of us out here are actually having those outcomes in real life, then what the fuck are we doing out here? Then why are we still at the bottom? We have crowned money our king. We worship it. We flex with it. And we shame anyone who doesn't have enough of it, which is its own brand of crazy because most of us don't even have it like that. What we are doing and the way we think, that shit is catastrophic. We are fucking insane. Let me spell it out for you. The love of money has placed us in a chokehold and dragged us straight into the goddamn abyss. And the worst part, most of us are either too blinded by the flames to see it or too complicit to actually care. And look around. The receipts are everywhere. It's just not about making money. It's about who can flaunt it the loudest. And meanwhile, over here on social media has turned it into a blood sport of worshiping money. Scroll through any feed and you'll see it. You'll see people flexing stacks of cash on their forehead like it's a goddamn trophy or crown, throwing money in the air like it's counterfeit or fake, or my favorite part, taking photos in front of cars and shit that they don't even own. Success is no longer measured by integrity. It's measured by how much you can stunt for the fucking gram. And what's the price of this obsession? Crushing debt. The thing that I talked about earlier that the Bible said you shouldn't be in. The crushing debt. Here's another part of what the crushing debt causes. It can shatter your mental health. And then we got a whole fucking generation. A whole generation sold on the illusion that wealth fixes everything. And let's not talk about what we let into our own backyards. Let's not forget what we let in our own backyards. Let me Dr. Umar for a third time. Let's not talk about what we let in our own backyards. Let's not forget the predatory systems that we allow to thrive in our communities. We're talking about the paid the payday loan lenders, the title loan places, the various check cashing places that set up shop in our neighborhoods, leeching off of grandmama and great grandmama and whatever the case may be. They feed off the depression and the mental mindset of the Black community and make things worse. They prey on people who are one bad week away from eviction. Shout out to Messy Michonne. They're 1 week away from being evicted and being a feature on Messy Michonne's live stream, and we let them jokers in our backyard. But we're too busy focusing on idolizing and promoting money for the gram or for the book or for the whatever, or for the fuck whatever. We become so numb to the fact that we don't notice and don't mind the fact that they're robbing us blind. Shout out to my homeboy, Mr. Walker, over there at Single by Choices. He said, salute, Brother TJ, and much respect. Yeah, Mr. Walker, over here, we're talking about shit that's egregious, man. And Mr. Walker, I know you a married man. I know you a married man. But I got some C-section scars for that $10 super chat for you. Here you go, brother.
Clearly obvious, you ain't used to lanes. You ain't never been this high, these drugs is private planes. All these niggas defraud, they can't come near this lane. CONCRET, that's my game. Million spent on chains versus diamond rings.
Now, don't forget, in a few minutes, I got a special guest. We're going to get after, we got a special guest, and we're going to get after it, this concept of this endless blitz, this endless attack of people rejecting the whole notion that 50-50 means that you're not a man. I don't believe in 50-50. I don't believe in 50-50 either, but not in the way that you think. But I got a special guest, and we're going to get into that in just a little bit. I got a special guest. Okay?
Out of all the millionaires we studied, one of the key things they said that caused them to be able to build wealth was working together with their spouse. The data says the number one cause of divorce in North America today, money fights and money problems. Well, guess what? That's people who are not aligned on where their money's going. They're not talking about it. They're not combined things. It's just like you're over there in the corner doing stupid stuff and I'm throwing grenades at you and we get a divorce as a result. So, I don't, some of you have little independence problems or you got other kind of little philosophical issues or something, but you're just wrong. It's just wrong. Okay? It's not morally wrong. It just doesn't work.
Long term.
Okay? And the data's in.
The data's in. The white man said it. You don't believe me? Because we all know the white man know everything. Let me run that back for you because I don't think you guys understand. The white man says it. So it must be true. Y'all won't listen to my black ass. You won't listen to Kofa. You won't listen to Messi. You won't listen to Take Heed. You won't listen to no motherfucker. So let Dave Ramsey, the chief white man, tell you one more time.
Out of all the millionaires we studied, one of the key things they said that caused them to be able to build wealth was working together with their spouse. The data says the number one cause of divorce in North America today, money fights and money problems. Well, guess what? That's people who are not aligned on where their money's going. They're not talking about it. They're not combined things. It's just like you're over there in the corner doing stupid stuff and I'm throwing grenades at you and we get a divorce as a result. So, I don't, some of you have little independence problems or you got other kind of little philosophical issues or something, but you're just wrong. It's just wrong. Okay? It's not morally wrong. It just doesn't work.
Long term.
Okay? And the data's in.
Yeah, it just doesn't work, and the data's in. And right now, I got something for my girl, Messy Michonne.
Trump's a racist.
Okay, we just got to get that out the way. Got to have at least one of those a show. Got to remind people that Trump's a racist, and so is Dave Ramsey. All right, and so is working together. That's racist too. Working together is racist too. Put them flames in the chat. Let's not forget. In anybody else's hand, this is just a microphone. But in our hands tonight, it's a motherfucking pipe bomb. Black women, I don't need no man. That lie has killed us. I want to refrain from saying is killing us because we're going to act like that it's actively doing it. I'm coming from the perspective it's already done. So, rejecting 50-50 isn't about empowerment and having high standards. It's about entitlement, plain and simple. The truth is 50-50 isn't some punishment or a fucking downgrade. It's about accountability and pulling your own damn weight. You asked for this when you joined the fucking the feminist movement. But let's be real. Saying no to 50-50 has become code for I want all the benefits without lifting a goddamn finger. That's what it's done. That's what it has done. I'm looking for something real quick. I'm not gonna go find it. Yeah. Listen, it's a mindset that glorifies selfishness and it dismisses real effort and treats basic contributions to your own life as like it's optional. Pulling your own weight in a house that you live in isn't beneath you. It's the standard. If you think collaboration is a downgrade, then I'm sorry, you're just not ready for greatness. You're not fucking ready for greatness. If you think you providing some kind of dollars in your house is a downgrade, or the man that's in the house with you is somehow a bum because you got to put some of your earned dollars you're working, then you are not ready for greatness. Tell them again, Dave Ramsey, because I don't think they understood.
Out of all the millionaires we studied, one of the key things they said that caused them to be able to build wealth was working together with their spouse. The data says the number one cause of divorce in North America today, money fights and money problems. Well, guess what? That's people who are not aligned on where their money's going. They're not talking about it. They've not combined things. It's just like you're over there in the corner doing stupid stuff and I'm throwing grenades at you and we get a divorce as a result. So, I don't, some of you have little independence problems or you've got other kind of little philosophical issues or something, but you're just wrong. It's just wrong. Okay? It's not morally wrong. It just doesn't work.
Long term.
Okay? And the data's in.
You're not ready for greatness. And I asked a lady, "What do you not know you're not ready for greatness?" And you know what she said to me? You know what she said to me? Do you know what this woman actually said to me? You guys are not going to believe what this woman said to me.
I'm a black woman and listen to a single mom. It's time to listen to a single mom. I'm a single mom. I'm a single mom. Mom.
She said, I'm a black woman and I'm a single mom and I deserve it. You deserve for somebody else to come in and take care of somebody else's responsibility. Okay. All right. So what's the results? What's the results? We are a people where everyone is looking to We are a people where everyone is looking to take, but no one's willing to give. We are a society, I'm talking about black folk, where progress stalls because no one wants to put in their fair share. You want a roof over your head, lights to turn on, and food on the table, and clothes on your back, and vacations and trips and traveling, but you want someone else to foot the bill for it. That's not empowerment. That's selfishness. And worse, it's the kind of selfishness that actually destroys. There is a cost to rejecting 50-50. There's a cost to rejecting it. Messy Michonne, there's a cost. Skinny Boy, there's a cost. Kofa, there's a cost. Quincy, there's a cost. Almanize, there's a cost. There's a cost. There's a cost to rejecting 50-50. Here's what no one talks about. When you reject contributing to your own household, you're not just hurting yourself, you're hurting the entire fucking house, including those damn ragged ass bastard children that you claim you love. rejecting 50-50, which I don't believe in 50-50. Well, I'll get to that in a minute. Rejecting 50-50 is rejecting an effort that will make you more financially stable, and it puts more of a strain on the other person. Like, first of all, side note, who are you dudes that are out here that's allowing these fucking women to dictate to you? Like, who in the fuck are you? Who in the fuck are you as a man allowing some chick to dictate to you how the house should run? I'm not saying you don't collaborate with your woman or your wife or what the case may be. She up in there like boss checking you. Like, she in there talking to you and putting down rules like she can kick your ass. Like, for real. Okay, I just said, okay, I wish a motherfucker would. Let's be real. Refusing 50-50 isn't about independence. I said that already. It's about dependency. It's about expecting someone else to carry your broke ass while you reap all the rewards. That's not freedom. Somebody paying $100 is basically dependency, the very fucking thing that you're trying to reject. "50-50 rejections fosters a culture and generations of entitlement where accountability is out the goddamn window. If you do not contribute, you do not take responsibility, you don't have to be responsible. So if you can't contribute, then you can also claim no responsibility. Then you don't get to say how shit run. Because you're not contributing it. You're a fucking child. The only person that gets to live for free in the house is the damn children. And at some point, they're contributing to the house because them little motherfuckers, them little money-sucking leeches, they're up there, doing their part. They're cutting grass, taking out the trash, making up the room. Hey, boy, walk over there and get that remote control for me. I left it on the TV. Go get it for me. Dad, I had to come all the way down. Shut the fuck up and get it or go sleep outside. Even kids at some point will have to contribute. But for the most part, only children get to be in the house for free. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? And when Black women refuse to financially contribute in a relationship, well, let me say, they're not refusing. They're threatening. They're making the threat. If you don't do this for me, then I won't give you my smelly pussy. That's what they're telling you. They're actually threatening you. They can't do nothing about it. If you don't get my nails done, then I won't go on this date and you won't get to whiff how bad my coochie stank. That's all they doing. And these little sorry sucker ass niggas are out there falling for it. When Black women refuse to financially contribute in a relationship, it mirrors the very exploitation that this country have put our Black men through already. Think about it for a second. Expecting a Black man to carry the full financial load while you withhold your resources, that's not empowerment. It's economic slavery. The same thing that the United States did to Black men. Back then, the system demanded this, but they were able to demand it by force and by threat of life and death. Black men's backs were broken while being denied dignity, credit, recognition, and dignity. I think I said dignity. And now you're trying to do the same thing. And you're trying to do the same thing all up under the notion that you are...
And listen to a single mom. It's time to listen to a single mom. I'm a single mom. I'm a single...
And just because you are a
black woman.
Just because you're trying to do the same thing to Black men you claim you want, and you want to do this under the notion of your standards. But let's call it what it is. It's self-inflicted division. The mindset isn't a step towards rebuilding Black families. No. It's the final nail in the coffin. And refusing to share responsibility is the same mindset that shattered our families during slavery and segregation. Now we do it voluntarily by creating relationships where non-cooperation is the new flex. The building block of I'm strong, independent, I don't need no man. And the quiet part out loud is, unless he pays 100% of my bills and take care of the 4 degenerate children that I had with 4 degenerate men that I just have. You think that's a flex? You can't demand protection and leadership and provision from a man while simultaneously telling him that his only value is his paycheck. And let's be real, this I don't do 50-50 attitude isn't about respect or love, or it's about control. It's about asserting some kind of perceived or imaginary dominance that you think you got over a man. And this is the same men that you claim that you want to be leaders and you will follow behind the right leader. Bitch, please. In anybody else's hand, this is just a microphone. But in our hands tonight, it's a motherfucking pipe bomb. And that's for real.
50-50. Remember they were saying that you said he was cheap, or they were saying that you were...
Oh, the splitting the bills.
The splitting 50-50, yeah, the 50-50. Remember, what was the tea on that?
Yeah, do I look like anybody that would split anything?
So you guys broke up at that point because they...
No, this is the question. Do I look like I would go 50-50 on bills?
No.
Okay.
And look at what happened. She caught herself flexing and got a bigger flex on her. Now he's with somebody he doesn't have to pay a dime for. So it didn't work. You lost them to somebody with more money that will do 50-50.
Yeah, first of all, I don't even think he has to go 50-50 with. I don't think he paid for anything since he's been with Taylor Swift. Well, secondly, what does she look like? Because she says, what do I look like to not be paying? What does somebody look like that doesn't have to pay for 50-50? What does that look like? I don't get it. I don't understand. You look broke?
Out of all the millionaires we studied, one of the key things they said that caused them to be able to build wealth was working together with their spouse. The data says the number one cause of divorce in North America today, money fights and money problems. Well, guess what? That's people who are not aligned on where their money's going. They're not talking about it. They've not combined things. It's just like you're over there in the corner doing stupid stuff and I'm throwing grenades at you and we get a divorce as a result. So, I don't, some of you have little independence problems or you got other kind of little philosophical issues or something, but you're just wrong. It's just wrong. Okay? It's not morally wrong. It just doesn't work.
Long term.
Okay? And the data's in.
Look, because of these wild ass so-called standards, Black relationships are nothing but transactional at best. And the transaction is always, dollars, or, I would say crypto, but whatever, are dollars. Because of this, there have been some unintended consequences. Not just making the money, the only standard in which women try to decide whom they attach to, but how men themselves position ourselves and how we as men present our value, not only to our women, but to the greater society as well. Men have started using the same metrics as Black women to define our manhood and our immeasurable value. So much so that when someone comes along and put words, expressions, and advocacy to Black male issues and concerns, men have now found a way to bastardize that advocacy. If you don't quite know what I'm talking about right now, let me turn the lights on for you.
Modern day women just don't qualify for the top tier men, and that is the truth.
Do you believe you're a top tier man? By what standard?
I'm 6'4", only about what? 8% of the entire world is 6'4". I make well over 100K a year, and I'm black at that if you add that on. So just if we're speaking about those figures, the things that women are attracted to, no, I'm not going to toot my own horn, but I'll let you do the math.
Hold on, before we go, what's your math saying?
The conversation and the words that are coming out of the mouth of someone like you, I would never consider top tier. A top tier man is also a man that is extremely desirable by way of his character. A top tier man is a man who displays a certain level of intellect that allows him to consider other people. A top tier man, they lead with love, not with dictatorship, right? They don't want to control their woman. They want to gently lead their woman. A top tier man creates space for a woman to feel good about herself. A top tier man supports the dreams and the ideas of a woman. A top tier man prioritizes a woman. A top tier man is...
Oh, Lord, she's getting on my fucking nerves. I'm sorry. Listen, I want you guys to notice something in that clip. You know what? I'm going to play it one more time, and I want to see if you guys catch it. There's something happening in this clip, and I want to see if you guys catch it.
Modern day women just don't qualify for the top tier men, and that is the truth.
Do you believe you're a top tier man? By what standard?
I'm 6'4", only about what? 8% of the entire world is 6'4". I make well over 100K a year, and I'm black at that if you add that on. So just if we're speaking about those figures, the things that women are attracted to, no, I'm not going to toot my own horn, but I'll let you do the math.
Hold on, before we go, what's your math saying?
The conversation and the words that are coming out of the mouth of someone like you, I would never consider top tier. A top tier man is also a man that is extremely desirable by way of his character. A top tier man is a man who displays a certain level of intellect that allows him to consider other people. A top tier man...
Notice that they replaced the word high value with top tier. Notice that they're trying to scapegoat around the fact that they're literally bastardizing a concept that was started by Kevin Samuels. Notice what he was talking about was all about him being 6'4" and make well over $100,000. And notice everything that she was talking about was how this man can serve her. In the last few months, I've not seen such an egregious bastardization of the Kevin Samuels high value man stream than I have in the last several months, from both sides, from all sides. It's like I'm listening to these people talk about top tier, high value, and what it is and what it means, and it is making me vomit, because I actually, not that I'm a Kevin Samuels acolyte, because I'm not, but because I understand and I heard what the man said and I understand the concept. They're bastardizing this. Kevin Samuels was, without a doubt, a polarizing figure. Love him or hate him, his message struck a chord, sparking conversations around Black relationships, around Black value and self-improvement. But let's be real. Too many motherfuckers have bastardized his concept of high value man and twisted his message into something toxic, shallow, and downright fucking counterproductive. Kevin wasn't about throwing money around and using wealth as a weapon to disrespect people, and especially women. He had a clear, multifaceted definition of what it meant to be a high value man. And yet most of the internet latched onto one detail, the six-figure income, and ran with it like a kid running down a hallway with fucking scissors. Let's set the record straight. Because Kevin his actual message has been buried under a mountain of ignorance and entitlement and outlandish expectations. People have become deaf, dumb, and blind to his message and have nearly succeeded in weaponizing what he was trying to do in a diabolical way. First, who was he actually talking to? He was not talking to the masses. The biggest misconception is that Kevin spoke to the biggest that was the biggest misconception, is the fact that he was talking to the masses. Kevin spoke to only two groups. The main group he spoke to was women, namely Black women who were seeking a provider male. And then namely a provider Black male, meaning for her, a Black man that made a crap ton of money and can let her rest in her femininity. Kevin merely tried to explain to women what that kind of man wanted out of a woman and how she could attempt to get him by becoming and understanding what that kind of man wanted from a woman. But like clockwork, Black women refuse to accept that over 85% of Black women are not what that man want because of Black woman's current behavior and attitude. The second group that Kevin talked to specifically were men who wanted to improve their outcomes. And these lessons were even more harshly, especially if you as a man wanted a certain lifestyle with a certain type of woman. This is where Kevin would talk to men specifically about the journey to high value man status. Kevin repeatedly explained that being a high value man wasn't about money exclusively or financial stability. Financial stability was only a part of it, but it wasn't the whole goddamn story. I'm going to play to you what he actually said, and I'm not going to interrupt it. But first, before we get there, shout out to my homeboy Kofa. Shout out to my homeboy Kofa. Shout out to my homeboy Kofa for helping a brother out with the $5 super chat. And so let me see what Kofa got to say. He said, I did a live about did we really listen to KS? Unfortunately, I think the answer is more no than yes, and that's for men and women. Absolutely, we listen. We just come up with our own interpretation of what he said. We misheard him on purpose. Here's shout out to Bean's little podcast. He mischaracterized what Kevin Samuel said. We listened and we chose to mischaracterize it. But Kofa, for the $5, I got the $5 bounce for you, okay? I got the $5 bounce for you, boy.
Both my turn around, man.
That's for you, Kofa. Your $5 bounce for you, brother. All right, y'all, listen. I'm going to play. Hold on, I got to put this up on this. I got to put this up. Where it go? Oh, my God, this is a lot of comments. Team Peterson, my boy. He talking about, yeah. Hey, Team Peterson, that's the $5 bounce for you. That's the $5 bounce for you. Every donation gets a $5 bounce. I'm sorry. That's what $5. I mean, I appreciate the $5, but it's worth the $5 bounce. It's worth the $5 BBL, the BBL jiggle. That's what we're gonna call it, the BBL, the $5 BBL jiggle. That's what it's worth to us. The $5 BBL jiggle. That's what we got. You know what? I'm such in a giving mood. Let me gift you with another $5 BBL jiggle.
Both my turn around, man.
Uh, all right. Let's hear what Kevin Samuels actually said. Okay. Let's hear what he actually said.
It's a high value man. Glad you asked. Let's define it. Welcome back. For those of you who don't know, my name is Kevin Samuels. I'm a professional men's and corporate image consultant. My job is to make sure my clients look good, smell great, and are the best version of themselves each and every day. But who are we kidding? The reason you're here right now is because the term high value man seems to be everywhere. Full disclosure, I didn't create the term, guys. High value man has been with us for a long time. I have just put my own unique spin on it and kind of popularized it, and it has kind of gone viral. But here's the thing. So many people are talking about high value this, high value that. And many times they're actually talking about me and saying as though, well, Kevin said this or Kevin said that. And many people are getting it 100% wrong. So in an attempt to make sense of all this, I want to give you guys the simple 6 basic principles that I define as being high value. Now, again, you don't have to agree with what I'm saying, but this is what I'm talking about when I'm saying a high value man. So your mileage may vary, your opinion is your opinion, but when I'm talking about it, this is what I'm talking about. So let's get it started. First of all, let's go over some basic definitions. High, great, greater than normal in quantity, size, or intensity. Value, the regard of something held to deserve, the importance, worth, or usefulness of something. And man, an adult human male. So when you put all that together, what do you have? An adult human male that's greater than normal importance or usefulness to what? The group. Basic economic principle states that the value of something is what a market is willing to pay for it. The value is determined by what? The market. And when we're talking about individuals, the market is other people, men or women. So a high value man is completely determined by the market. Case in point, you can have a vehicle, a home, anything in your possession. You can hold it dear. It could be supremely important to you. But when you put it on the market decides. And there's an upper limit and a lower limit. It doesn't really matter if you think the low is too low or the high is not high enough. That's what the market is willing to pay for it, and that is its overall value. That has been with us forever. So when we start talking about that, we're dealing with people. It really throws people off because it seems so cold, so calculated. But like it or not, that's the way the world is. So let's get into this whole high value man thing. Number one, in order to be a high value man, it starts with money. Again, like it or not, I didn't put the 6-figure thing out there. It's been with us since the mid 80s, and like it or not, that's where this whole thing starts. You can't be high value and homeless, so you have to make a certain amount of money, and the line is roughly at $10,000 a month adjusted for Atlanta dollars. If you live in San Francisco, LA, New York City, where the cost of living is higher than 100%, you need to adjust it. So $10,000 a month gets the starting point off for high value. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just giving you what the world gave me. Number two, that money needs to be made over a length of time, i.e. performance. And that's roughly about 5 years. And about the 3-year mark, you're kind of starting to scratch the surface. Why does it need to be 5 years? Well, because guys, it's a matter of consistency and stability. Look in the NFL, the NBA, anybody can have a great season, but having a great season does not automatically mean you're going to the Hall of Fame. They want to see consistent numbers over a period of time. You know how this works, just like I do in business. You can't be a one-hit wonder or have up here and down there. Consistency, performance over a length of time. That's why that 5-year mark is so important. Like I said, around 3 years, you're starting to scratch the surface, but at 5 years, people can pretty much count on you to say, this person understands and knows how to get it done. Number 3 is group acceptance. Like it or not, guys, high value man is like a fraternity. It's like a club, a secret society. And high value men know other high value men. They welcome him into the group. They know what it takes to be there. They know what it takes to get in there. And high value men, group acceptance is supremely important. Guys, secret societies, fraternities, organizations have always been with us. And you know how this just works in just general interaction. Guys that just make their own secret society or club, but it doesn't matter as much as somebody says that group is important. Guys, this is about separation. High value men tend to huddle around other high value men for reasons I'm going to go into a little bit later. But group acceptance is another critical component of being a high value man. Why is group acceptance so important? Because the next part, a network. You have to have a network of other high value men and others. This is another stumbling block for a lot of guys, for a lot of people, because they may have the money, even the length of time. They may look like they fit the group, but if they don't even have any other high value contacts or a network, a group of others, that person is going to be looked at with a side eye. Think of it like this. If you're sitting at the table with 10 high value men, and each of these 10 men has 50 contacts, that's 500 contacts, and you sit at the table and you have twice as much money as any other man on there, but you have 0 contacts. What can you effectively get done other than throw money at it? These other men can make phone calls, exert influence, move things to get things done, and you can only do what? You can only do what? Offer money and potentially feed off that network of contact. One thing high value men know and understand, that time is what's important, and building a network that actually works for you is extremely important. In some areas, it's called a book of business. A book of business can make you successful here, here, and here. Your contacts, your network is your net worth. You've heard this before, so you cannot underestimate how important having a network of high value men and other people is to your status as a high value man. After the network, we got to have the visibility. Guys, your income and your position has to be LinkedIn level. Think of it like this. This person says they're the CEO of a Fortune 500 company. This person is head of thoracic surgery at Johns Hopkins. This person is VP of Mergers and Acquisitions at Bank of America. And then someone says, hi, I'm an entrepreneur. 3 of those 4 people, at a glance, we can pretty much estimate who they are, what they do, and their relative importance in the overall socioeconomic structure. The 4th person, more information is needed. There's not enough visibility, not enough transparency. To be a high value man, it needs to be at a glance. Again, your position and your income. Guys, you may have a lot of money, but if it's coming from sketchy areas, no one can kind of understand where it's coming from, that does not give other high value men or even the public any kind of real confidence that you are who you say you are. Again, guys, it's about the market. It's what the world is thinking. They got to know at a glance that you are a high value man. And the 6th part is probably my favorite part, guys. A high value man is useful to others and the group. A lot of times you hear people say, I don't want to be used. I don't want to be used. No, I want to be used. Why? Because that means I'm useful. High value men are in demand and useful. Their presence is felt when they're there, and their absence is felt when they're gone. That is how you know you're really a high value man. How you can move things, your ability to influence things, and that is your relative usefulness. In economics, it's called ULOs. How useful are you to the group? Again, there's no high value homeless, neither are there any high value loners. If you have all these resources, all this stuff, but it's all hoarded for your own selfish ends, and no one can benefit from your money, your network, or anything you have, how valuable are you to the group, to the world, to other people? That's what this comes down to. High value men are in demand and useful to other people. As I said at the beginning, high value is all the rage, all the buzz right now. I didn't make it, but I want to clarify what I mean when I'm talking about it. The 6 basic principles of being a high value man, and that by no means is the end of it. Each individual person, after that 6 basic things there, they maybe put other things on top of it. They may have religious concerns, personal motivations, but those 6 core things need to be there. Look at it this way. High value has been with us forever. There's always been a ranking system, irrespective of race, culture, period of time. You will see higher value men, higher value individuals separate or be separated from the pack. That is how this works. You don't have to like it, but you do need to accept it. High value men understand that the world is a competitive place. All's fair in love and war, right? And high value does 2 things for man. It gives you more options, and it gives you an opportunity to get more favorable outcomes. If you want more options or more favorable outcomes, you need to increase your overall value. And that principle is pretty well understood everywhere except when it comes to us. It gets personal, it gets hard, it gets difficult. And some of us don't like to reduce human beings to things that are so seemingly cold and calculated. But like it or not, that is what it is. We have civilized the world in general, we have evolved, but at the end of the day, we still have that primitive brain, that hunter-gatherer, fight or flight. And even though in the suit and all that other kind of stuff, that is who we are when it's right down to it. Better to know that exists and then ask yourself, what do you want to do about it, than try to fight against this whole thing of high value or not high value. Last things, just because you're not a high value man does not mean you lack value or you're of no value. And just because you may not be supremely useful to the group does not mean you're useless. High value is not a way of saying these guys are great and these guys are nothing, but it is a mark, a delineation, and it is a fact of life. It comes into play when men are dealing with men and when women are dealing with men. You can't get over it, guys, so you might as well understand it and act accordingly. Till the next time, your Godfather is out.
I mean, do I got to play that again? No. One of the components of what he was saying that I really resonated with is it right there at the end. Just because you don't meet all 6 of those criteria, that doesn't mean that you are useless as a man. There is a spectrum. You know what I mean? And we talk about the term high value man, that is literally the top 1% of all human beings. And everybody can't be that. And then I get sick of hearing when I hear people go, well, this is what a high value is to me. Who gives a fuck what it is to you? Things are what they are. Just because you want a dog to be a cat, that doesn't make that dog a fucking cat. It really doesn't. And the thing he made clear when we talk about high value, if everybody, when people start talking about what is a high value man, and if they go, he has to, well, a high value man is a man who makes $100,000 a year of money, and they stop talking, then they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They absolutely do not know what they're talking about. And 99.9% of men are not high value men, according to the list. And there's nothing wrong with it. That doesn't mean we're not valuable. That doesn't mean that we're not incredibly valued. He's talking about something that most of us don't know, don't understand, will never be, can never be. But this whole notion, this bastardization of the high value man has perverted. I said this to my guests before we went live. Black people, we wake up every fucking day and we go out of our way to try to figure out another reason not to be together. Another goddamn reason not to be together. Every day we wake up trying to find another fucking reason not to be together. It is crazy. It is sick work what we do to ourselves. It is absolute sick work. Shout out to 1,000 Watts Radio for the $5 super sticker. He wants his jiggle. He wants his BBL jiggle. He wants his $5 BBL jiggle. And who am I to deprive the masses? Who am I to deprive the supporters? Here we go. That's our jiggle, baby. You're jiggling, baby. So let me break down real quickly, because we're about to get to our guest, my lovely, lovely guest, who I adore. Even though she says she ain't my friend, I still adore her. Listen, when Kevin talked about high value, Kevin Samuels made it clear that value comes from multiple aspects of a man's life, not just his bank account. But this was a barrier to entry, meaning you start that process of being a high value at this dollar mark. And if you actually want to adjust it up now, it's actually about $250 now. I know the $100,000, but it's actually, if you want to make a market adjustment, that $100,000 is based on what women said that they felt was a man with a lot of money. And this was back in the 70s. That dollar amount, that $100,000, that actually came from women. Women set that value term, that dollar amount term, back in the 70s. But if you adjust it to today's money, we're talking about $250,000, $300,000. That's where we're at today. You know, so, but that baseline, that's an entry to barrier. That's the first step of qualification. And 90% of men do not earn that. So 90% of men don't qualify on step one. Step two, he talking about you got to be consistent, meaning you got to be productive year over year over year over year, not just a one-shot deal. It's got to be a yearly, 5-year, 6-year consistent level of production. That's why he talked about that. So one, the entry to barrier is the money, because the money represents your production. Two, you have to be productive year over year. So 1 and 2 go together. You can't have one without 2. You can't have 2 without 1. Number 3, you got to be useful to. You got to be useful to the group. Not to the group. You got to be useful. In other words, how your peers, it's your networking. How your peers view you. If you are not respected. Look what Sean. What's that weirdo? Oh yeah, Puffy. If he's not respected, he's bringing too much harm to the group. That would disqualify him. He's out at 3. He's no longer a high value man. It doesn't matter how much money he got. Your network. A lone wolf. Unfortunately, I'm a lone wolf. That disqualifies me. I got a couple of friends, but I'm a lone wolf. You have to have a robust network of people, other people like you. Now, my buddies will not call me a lone wolf because my buddies are successful. They wouldn't call me. They get angry when I tell them that they're better men than me. They get angry with that, but I know the realities of the situation. It doesn't matter if you have acquired all of these resources. If you cannot be useful in the network, you're not useful. 5, Kevin Samuels often talk about the usefulness of the people in the workplace and within your family, so his the high value thing, it's multi-layered. It's not just the money, it's all of the other things included on top of that. And if any one of those are missing, you are not high value, but that does not mean that you are not a valuable man. And for us to be sitting there thinking that that 6 figures, that money makes you somehow this rare dude. Look at that Cooley dude that we played the clip with. He's a clown of epic proportion. He's an embarrassment. He's not honest. The bastardization of Kevin Samuels' concept is painfully obvious in the attitudes of some of the men today, not just the men, but everybody. Too many people have taken his techniques and twisted them into a free pass to disrespect everything and everybody along the way. Especially when you have that attitude like Cooley had, you don't deserve me unless you meet my standards because I'm 6'4". Get out of here. Money does not equate value. Instead, it's embodying all the qualities. It's everything that comes with it. Money only makes you more of who you are. If you are a fucking dumpster fire of a person before money, you will be a dumpster fire person with money, a bigger dumpster fire, because now you have more access. Kevin constantly preached that money alone does not make a man valuable. In fact, he often challenged men to step up in every area of life, not just money. Character, productivity, all of those things go with it. I'm just going to talk about Kendra D. I'm not going to talk about fucking Kendra D. Kevin Samuels wasn't about tearing down women or tell them that they couldn't have this or they couldn't have that. Let's be real. He was about bringing people to a sense of reality. He challenged the delusion, and there's nothing wrong with that. And he challenged the entitlement that was often too boldly on display on his streams, and we see it in other streams. His message wasn't, don't aim high. That wasn't his message. It was, look in the mirror and act accordingly. He held up a mirror to women and to men, forcing them to confront the hard truths. The quiet part out loud, as you heard me say multiple times. Or like my my girl Take He said, the uncomfortable truths. He forced that. If your expectations for a man don't align with your own reality, then maybe it's time to do a fucking reality check. Shout out to Take Heed. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Too often, women and men, too often with our women, reality seems to be at odds with them. It's not about settling for less. It's about recognizing that relationships require balance. It requires reciprocity and self-awareness. Kevin pointed out that while many women say that they want a six-figure man, a high-value lifestyle, or something, or someone who checks every box on the perfect man list, they rarely stop to ask themselves the critical question: what does that kind of man want? And am I the kind of woman that man would want? What does that kind of man want? And am I the kind of woman that man would want? And therein lies the disconnect. Too many people build castles in the air, fueled by social media fantasies and unrealistic rom-com dreams, instead of constructing foundations rooted in reality. Kevin Samuels didn't mince words when addressing the imbalance. He made it plain. If you're expecting a man to be rich, if you're expecting that kind of man, you must be that man to be rich. You must be fit. If you're expecting that man to be rich, fit, tall, emotionally available, and ready to cater to your every whim, you better make sure you're offering equal value in return, because high standards demand high accountability. When a man has high standards, ladies, you don't set the terms of accountability and standard. He does. That's if you want what comes with him. I think I read somewhere where it said 85% of the world's richest women all got their wealth through divorce. Got their wealth through divorce. So most women are not bringing anything of substantial value in terms of economics to these men. It's the other way around. And then when they leave these relationships or leave these men, they're taking a portion of these men's wealth with them. And then they never find another man again. Which is, if you don't believe me, ask Vivica Fox. Ask Vivica. But accountability for many is a bitter pill to swallow. That's why Kevin's words struck such a nerve. He wasn't afraid to say the quiet part out loud. What you want is a fairy tale perfection, but are you living a fairy tale life? That's a direct quote from him. He challenged women to assess themselves honestly, not to destroy their confidence, but to ground their expectations in reality, like you do with children. And here's the kicker. This isn't just a woman's issue. Men too. Men too are often guilty of unrealistic expectations. The difference is that Kevin specialized in holding women to the same standard they claim they want in their man. He called out the entitlement of wanting a man with no flaws while ignoring the fact that they are dressed in nothing but flaws. The audacity of demanding loyalty without reciprocating any kind of loyalty, and the contradiction of craving a traditional man while rejecting your traditional roles that man would expect from you. This was not about misandry or tearing down women. It was about elevating a conversation amongst us Black folk. He believed that when people stop lying to themselves and when they look at who they are and align their preferences with who they actually are, better relationships, healthier dynamics, and stronger bonds can emerge from all of that. Kevin wasn't for the faint of heart. He wasn't. He was bold. He was unfiltered. He was unapologetic. He didn't cater to feelings. He catered to the facts. And while his delivery may have ruffled feathers, his message was very simple, y'all. If you want the best, you must be the best. And the reality, and that's a reality we all can embrace.
If you are in a 50-50 relationship, you're really just roommates. If he is not supporting you and you're paying for your own way, your own living or whatever, but then that's not a good situation, because if you are married, the man's job is to protect, to provide, and to profess his love. You got money? Stop giving him money off of your money. Keep your money and start over.
Are you listening? Damn. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, lady.
Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing okay. Just listening to you.
Listening to me, as Messy Michonne say, listen to me rant.
Thank you for inviting me tonight. I appreciate that.
Yeah. What's the last time you heard your own theme song? What's the last time? It's been a long time, ain't it?
Oh, it's been a long time. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought I would try to bring you up right tonight.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
So, I mean, if you want to, I said a lot. I said a lot in the last hour and a half. I said a lot. Anything you want to add before we get to what we're doing with you?
No, you landed it very well.
Okay. Listen, take heed. I got you up here because you's married. You's married. You's a married
sure?
man.
Are
Yeah,
you sure? I don't know.
Look. I saw your
I don't
reel.
have my ring on tonight. I don't know.
Hey, I saw your reel tonight with your handsome husband. You know what I'm saying, in the car. You know, you convinced the brother to show up on social media, even though he didn't want to be there. I just have a question for you, Takey, before we get going. I just got one question for you.
What's the question?
Are you happy to be married? Are you happy to be married? Are you happy to be 50-50? You better say yeah.
I don't know if I'm happy. I don't know if I'm happy. Yeah, I don't know if I'm happy.
What do you mean you don't know if you're happy?
I don't know if I'm happy. You know? My husband aggravates me sometimes.
Okay, let me put it to you. Let me ask you this way. If he 5 minutes from now, he walked downstairs with his suitcase and boxes and walk out the door, what you gonna do?
Oh, I'm gonna faint right by the front door. I don't know all about that leaving stuff. I don't.
So did he get to the front door and then he said to you, "I'm just playing. Will you have happy feelings?"
No, I'm not. It's gonna be joyful.
You're gonna be joyful.
Joyful Lord. Yes. We
joyful.
adore thee. Yes.
Okay. Yes. So with the spirit of the joyfulness and the happy feelings in the air, I want to play something for you and all the women that are happy to go 50-50, which we're gonna talk about that in a minute, and happy. Let me say this: to be who are happy to contribute to their family. So I got something for you, okay?
Let's go back a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, bless your heart, y'all.
I don't think they know what that is. I don't think they know.
sing, y'all. Come on. Happy feelings in the air. Touching people everywhere. Plenty love and everything. Right here. Listen to the people say. I've got myself to remind me of love. My mind and my heart, yes, I believe in love. These happy feelings, I'll spread them all from deep in my soul. I wish you happy feelings. You know what I mean? Happy feelings. Ay, 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 happy feelings. Happy feelings. Sing the night.
Okay. I just wanted to play that for you as tribute to you, your husband, and everybody else that's happy with somebody and happy to help contribute to their own fucking households.
Well, the true, if you really wanted, to salute me and my husband, okay, Marvin Gaye, let's get it on. If you
I
wanted
can't
to
I can't do that
salute,
because I
if
don't
you
want people to
wanted,
turn off. I don't want people to turn off and go
if you
start doing
wanted,
stuff. You gonna
if you
start doing
want,
stuff. You gonna run
if
up if I play that. You
if
gonna
you
run off of
wanted
here and
to
go.
salute us,
If you gon'
if you wanted to do that,
you gonna run off of here and go do something if I play that. I can't have you
well,
running off.
I can't promise, but I'm just, Scorpio gang Grace.
That is crazy. Tell me you want if you wanna salute, you wanna pay some Marvin Gaye. I got a little bit of Marvin.
I bet you're wondering how I knew about your plans to make.
That's it. But I'm just saying.
That's
But
what
I'm a load.
should.
I'm gonna load that one in. So next time you up here, I'm gonna play it for you. But you can't run off. You can't run off. And be like, hey baby, he playing our song. You can't. You can't do that. You can't do that. Yeah, I wanted to talk to you, Take Heed, because this whole movement over the last 2 months, these conversations about 50-50, I ain't got half of the rent, all of this shit is driving me fucking crazy. People believe that, first of all, I don't believe in 50-50. I don't believe in it, not even a little bit. Not even. I only believe in 50-50 with somebody that's a roommate. Like if they gonna rent out my room, one of my rooms in my house, then we can go like a renter. You know what I mean? Like a roommate. Then we gonna go half on all the bills in the house. You know what I mean? But if you my woman or my wife and we in the house together, there is no 50-50. There only is it ain't your money, my money, is only the money. It ain't your bills, my bills, it's only the bills. And so for me, the whole concept of 50-50 is reserved for like college roommates and shit. You know what I mean? Not for people who are coupled together or want to be married. I say coupled together, we all know married is the standard, but you know what black folk, we do fuck shit. You know what I mean? So so I'm just saying, if you're gonna be in the house with your woman, there's no 50-50. There's only, because if you guys, because you have a split house, I'm not having no more split houses. I know what 50-50 looks like. And I know we got some motherfuckers around here talking about, well, my wife do this and I do that and she get the man, fuck, good for y'all, but mine ain't doing that shit. All the money goes into one pot. We collectively manage it. If you got a problem with that simple idea, then as the ladies like to say, then you're not the one for me. Because I'm not renting no split house. I'm not renting no split house. Is your house split? Take heed.
What do you mean when you say split?
50-50.
Do my house run 50-50?
Uh-huh.
Okay. My house runs, no, our house. Our house runs 95-5. It does. It does. It runs just like that. 95-5. Okay. We have a one pot system. Okay. My
Oh.
husband dictates what needs to be paid, and that's how we run. Now,
Oh.
I'll share something with you. In marriage, there are times where one will grow bigger than the other. Okay. There's times when, okay, there's times when one will fall and the other one will have to hold everything together. And I think everybody is missing that. Okay. Grace said, Grace, why you telling on me? Why you telling on me? Grace, take heed, got the 5 on it. What? Why you gonna tell on me, Grace? Didn't nobody know that I got the one that's the 5? So this is the thing is that we don't understand that in a marriage, everything will not always go smooth. Sometimes there will be hard times, sometimes there will be joyous times, sometimes there will be a season of growth, sometimes there won't. Sometimes there will be a season of hardship. And I don't think we understand it. That's why you have content creators that will get up here and tell you if you're doing 50-50, this is your roommate. And a lot of women will miss out on their true king because you're listening to a content creator telling you if a man is splitting the bills with you, that he's your roommate. Now, 50-50 doesn't really exist, does it? Y'all have that so confused because there will be times where she may not have it. Maybe she used the money and she did something else with it. So are we to let the bill not get paid? Are we to let the house go into foreclosure because she don't have the money? So that doesn't make sense. Or the same thing with him.
Well, that's why I don't really believe in the concept of 50-50. I believe in a
Mhm.
one pot rule because if me and my woman take heed, if we both make $60,000 a year, the house makes 120, and that 120 is managed by her and I. I go down, I get sick for 5-6 months, so now we're down to just $60,000. Then the house runs on $60,000.
That's right.
You
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying? It doesn't it's and if you got a one pot rule and you're financially fiscally responsible, you know what I mean? You're paying your bills, you're putting stuff aside for emergency. If you can do that, because the reality is even with 60 and 60 with 120, you're talking about after taxes, that's only $75,000 for the two of you. It's hard to put away 4, 5, 6 months worth of resources, you know what I mean, in case stuff happen on 75 grand. People see the gross and don't understand you don't bring home gross. You bring home about 30% less than that. You bring home 30% less than that. So if your gross paycheck, I know mine is a little unrealistic. Let's just say your gross paycheck is $3,200, baby. You're only bringing home 22.
I don't think people understand that. That's why, you have the content creators flying off the handle about 50-50. And the young women are believing it. And because I'm gonna share something with you that I truly believe in my heart. A black man, because I only know about a black man. But a black man, if he has the means, you would never have to work again. If he has the means.
Mm-hmm.
That's the truth. If he has the means, you would never have to work again because he'd rather keep you home. and you not stressed about the job, keep the house clean, cook, fuck him when he want to be fucked, So it's a lot. It's a lot. But the thing is that you have so many people that are talking to these women and lying to them, because I'll share something with you. You and your man for many years, y'all could be working, y'all can be doing that, grinding together, right? And then all of a sudden he may shoot up in his field. Okay. He may shoot up in his field and make maybe 3 times more than you. And so now he says, babe, listen, it's time for you to stay home and relax. I got it. You know what I'm saying? If you want a little side hustle, you do a little side hustle. But for you to just actually go out to that 9 to 5 every day, I got you. And I think a lot of men dream of that, to just have that and have their wife to be able to stay home. Now, I'm going to share something with you. There are times when a married couple is struggling and they're going through something where maybe one might get hurt. And so the other one has to take on everything. Okay. And so when that happens, you have to live within your means. So all the things that you were doing with your own money before, or either what you were paying, now it is on the one person. So now that means all the little nonsense that you was doing here and there and buying little stuff like that, you gotta shut that down. You gotta live within your means. And I think a lot of us miss that part. And we listen to these content creators that got 2 feet in the grave, okay? You listen, God is calling you home, okay? So, and you're in here telling these young women that they should not help their husband or man that they're living with, but it should be your husband, that, telling them not to help. That doesn't make sense. And we're missing that part. And I think what it is because the blueprint that Yahweh gave us, okay, the blueprint that Yahweh gave us, we have, I said we lost it, but you said we threw that mess away. And you are right, we did. And so with that being said, because the blueprint is gone, we don't know how to behave. We don't understand the natural order. So we'll get out here and listen to foolish content creators that don't know even how to don't even know how to keep a man. How you had so many marriages and all the men were the problem and you were not. That doesn't make sense.
Hey,
You've been married 3 times and you still haven't got it right. Now somebody talked to you and told you to come to social media and feed all these lies to these young girls.
Take heed. I got a coworker, and she's 61. She just finalized her divorce last week from her 4th husband. And I said to her, and she's already ready she wants to get married again. And I said, first of all, ain't nobody put to marry this motherfucker. She was lucky enough to get 4 of them. And I said to her, how are you able? I said, it don't bother you that you've been married 4 times? And she goes, well, they not right. I said, so you mean to tell me, your mind is telling you that you married 4 not right men? She goes, yes. I said, so you ain't never want to stop to think if maybe you're doing something wrong. She goes, men always mess up.
Oh, she don't need to get married. She just needs to stay by herself.
Goddamn self. And speaking of 2 feet in the grave, take heed. I got somebody for you, okay? Speaking of 2 feet in the grave, I want you to check this out. I'm bringing our lady. I'm bringing our grandma back. But you met this grandmama before on the live, and you heard some of the things she got to say. So I'm gonna bring her back, and I'm gonna play a little bit of what she got to say, and then I want you to tell me what you think about what she said. Speaking of 2 feet in the grave, okay?
Everybody, welcome back. This is Miss Faye, and this is my world. Today's topic is when he asks you to pay half, when your man ask you to pay half. Before we get started, I'd like to say welcome. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to all the new viewers, the new subscribers, and welcome to you who have been with me from the beginning. I really appreciate you. Now, to get us started, I did pull a short video. Let's watch this video, and then we have a letter. Then we're going to read this letter and dive right into this issue. When your man asks you to pay half, here we go.
If you are a man and you can't pay all the bills, I do not want you to join any masculine modern women conversations. If you are not a man that can provide a safe space for her to be vulnerable enough to embrace her femininity with you, then shut the fuck up. If you don't provide and protect emotionally, financially, spiritually, at a high level, shut the fuck up from a woman that can provide for herself. Quit complaining about these independent women. If you not a man, there's going to be a solution to that. The reason why there's so many independent women out here is because like you be so not dependable. If you provide her with a hard life, don't complain about the fact that when she come in your life, she not being soft. You want a woman to be submissive to you when you can't even submit the full rent payment? All y'all do is offer stress and headaches and wondering why this woman ain't your piece.
If you have a boyfriend that goes 50-50, that ain't your boyfriend. Just so you know. That's your friends with benefits. Okay? You don't have a boyfriend. You don't have a husband. You don't have even a lover. You have a friends with benefits package or a roommate if you go 50-50, darling. Okay? So stop calling it what it ain't.
Okay, let's dive into this letter. Okay, she asked, when a woman is married, who should pay the bills of the household? Should it be 50-50? Or should the husband pay everything, including food, utilities, the mortgage, and everything else that's needed to keep the house going? I was previously married, and we paid everything 50-50. That marriage ended in divorce after he cheated on me. Yeah, because he wasn't providing for you. You were just like roommates. So yeah, he just moved on. Okay. I just wanted to know in case I ever get married again, and I want to do it the correct way and the way it's supposed to be. The way it's supposed to be this is the man is the provider. The man is the provider, not you. And if you get involved with a man who can't provide, then you don't need to be with him. Don't need to be with him, ladies. Stop settling for men who are not providers.
So, oh my goodness. So if we're going by the Bible, right? If we're using the Bible, okay, even the women of the Bible had jobs. Even the women of the Bible had jobs. They were handling business in their household. That does not make sense. Every woman of the Bible had a side hustle. She did something. She did something. So you're telling me in this day and age and under the Bidenomics, okay, under the Bidenomics, even under Trump as well, even under Barack, okay, even under Clinton, all these past presidents, you cannot live under one income unless you live within your means. And most people can't do that. The thing that irks my nerve is that a lot of young women listen to this woman. And they might have missed out on the best man that they have ever met in their life by listening to this foolishness. And also tonight's conversation as well, that gentleman there, he has led a lot of women the wrong way. Even when he had this woman who was came up to ask a question, when should she get in the groove of, fucking again? Okay, I'm sorry I keep using that word. Even when she get into the groove of screwing again, okay, that she's been married 34 years, she's 54 years old, been married 34 years, and she recently got a divorce. And the whole crowd was encouraging her to get some tonight. You know what I'm saying? Get some tonight. Yeah, you know how he has that big show and everybody comes and stuff like that. And I shook my head because this is where Black folks are. We are so happy when people are divorced. Like we're all chanting, yeah, yeah, yeah. Listen, mama, you was getting, you had a 34-year marriage. You 54 years old. And you looking for a new piece of wood. Okay? And you think those hips still gyrate like they used to? You get out here, one of these young boys will bench press you and break that hip. I don't even understand that part. And y'all will just leave a good husband because eyes ain't happy. It's always eyes ain't happy all the time. And this is how you will destroy the kingdom. Now, I'm not just talking about any type of man that you're supposed to get in a relationship with. The man is supposed to have substance. Okay? The thing is that a lot of y'all who pray and you get on these, so-called pray, y'all pray, and you get on these, these shows talking about, these podcasts talking about, I want a godly man. A lot of y'all don't understand what a godly man entails. A lot of y'all don't. You don't understand what a godly man entails. A godly man is not going to let you do what you want to do. He's going to check you. Mm-hmm. A godly man is not going to let you walk around booty butt naked outside. A godly man is not going to let you be out with your friends all types of night. A godly man ain't going to let you be around your family if they're toxic. A godly man is not going to put up with you being disrespectful to him if you're nasty. A godly man is a problem. But they say they want a godly man. But the thing is, can you handle a godly man? Are you willing to change? Some of these women, like Miss Fanny here, out of those 3 husbands that she had, one of them probably was supposed to be her teacher. Okay? Because this is the uncomfortable truth. Your husband has to teach you how to be his wife. Let me say that one more time. Your husband has to teach you how to be his wife.
Hold on, Takey. You being very nasty.
She was so nasty and so rude that I don't ever bring anybody around me like that.
So nasty.
And that's what happened.
So rude. So nasty and so rude.
You being nasty, Takey.
So, well, let me be nasty then. But listen, my problem is that we don't understand that. We don't. So we'll get out here and say, this man I met, he was narcissist. He was a narcissist. He was this, he was jealous of me and this and that. And you know what the problem is? You met your teacher. You met your teacher, but you didn't know how to understand that. And see, what happens is a year later, you find out this same man that you gave up has gotten married. Okay, and he's doing way far better than what he was doing when he was with you. Because the woman that he married, she was ready for her teacher. See, a lot of these women here, they're not ready for their teachers. When they're listening to women like this, Miss Fanny, you got 2 feet in the grave. When they're listening to women like this, when their teacher comes along, they miss them. They miss the teacher because of the teaching of this woman, the teaching of a lot of these women on social media, the sprinkle lady as well. These young women will miss the opportunity and their teacher. And the sad part is, it's not enough men to go around. It's not enough men to go around. So what will happen is, since you don't want to be taught, then the brother will go off to the next woman who's ready to be taught. And I think we're missing that 50-50 does not exist. It's not real. It will never be real. Even in Bible days, it was not real.
Yeah. Hold that thought, take heed. All right, we got 1,000 Watts Radio with another $2 super chat. Because these women be undercover witches in some overt. Right on, brother. I appreciate you for your super chat. And here's what I got for you.
One of these days, I'm going to climb all over you.
It take more guts than you got, Biggie. You got to bring ass to get ass.
You color.
I didn't know. Let's see what else. I don't know. I did this something to play. All right. Let me let's hear a little bit more about what Miss Faye got to say.
Okay, and you say also, I have another question. While dating a man that you are not married to and you want to travel together, who should pay for that? Okay, here we go. If a man invites you to take a trip, it's his obligation to pay for the entire trip. Now, ladies, watch this. If you invite the man to go on a trip, in my opinion, it's your obligation to pay because you invited him. You don't invite a man on a trip and then expect him to pay for it. Okay? Now, he can offer to pay. That's great. But if you make the invitation, then I believe it's your obligation to pay for it. Okay? Just like if you invite him out on a date, it's your obligation to pay for the date. Although it's the man's obligation to provide, then he should be asking you on a date. He should be asking to take you on trips. He should be the one doing these things, not you. You see, ladies, in today's world, because we are becoming more independent, we can make our own money and all of that. Now we want to take the man's role. No, you're still a woman. You still stay in your feminine energy. The man is supposed to take the lead. Let him be a man, okay? And provide for you, no matter what you have, no matter how independent you feel you are, or any of that. If a man is involved with you, then it's his obligation to care for you. But now, if you want to take the reins and be the man, and you want to make the dates, and you want to set the trips and all of that, well, then you can come out of pocket and pay for it. Okay? That's my opinion about it. You can't hold a man to something that you decided that you want to do with, and you want to bring him along on it. And that's what you're doing. If you go out and make reservations for a trip or something, you want to bring him along because you could do it for yourself and just go on the trip yourself. But no, you want a companion. You have to pay for your companion. All right? But if you are a couple, you're married or this is your partner, and you sit down together and you plan things together, then yes, it's his obligation to pay. Okay?
Is she triggering for you?
She is a lot. It's aggravating to me because this woman probably has like what, close to 1 million followers or something like that.
Yeah. And
Because
let me tell you something, because a lot of people don't know. I found her when she first started doing this. So this is about 8 months ago, 9 months ago. Take heed. Her first couple videos, she went through her history. This woman has been married 3 times.
mm,
The last man she was with, the last man she was with, she saw him at a church function. He was dressed up. She started dating him. She moved him into his house, only to find out later on, like 2 or 3 months after he'd been in the house, that he came to the church because he was living in a homeless shelter and they provided clothing for men, and she just happened to meet him when he was trying on the suit. And so she realized, so she got duped. So she was married 3 times and then got duped by a homeless man.
and that's why I say she failed because she missed her teacher. That first husband probably was her teacher. And she wouldn't be going through none of this. She wouldn't be talking like this. When a woman is under a covering, okay, how can I say this? When a woman is under a covering and the covering has a strong substance, you know what I'm saying? That, he brings order. Okay. You can tell when a woman is under a strong covering. I know I'm out here in these YouTube streets and I be acting a fool sometimes. Okay. Y'all can see when I be acting a fool. But Through the Fire podcast has talked to me many times on the phone privately. You know what I'm saying? And he knows that I'm under a strong covering. He hears how I talk to him when we're on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He knows how sometimes I tell him, listen, I gotta let you go. I gotta let you go. I gotta go handle some things with my husband. I gotta go do this. I gotta do that. You know what I'm saying? So I might act, all big and tough in these streets, but I'm under a covering and my king don't play that. Like he has a calm voice, but my king is, he's that man. He's that man who took time to train me. And so when women get under a covering, they understand differently. Now, don't get me wrong. Am I still a little hood? I still can get out. Yes, I can. But I have somebody that will pull me and be like, "Oh hell no, you went too far." So the thing is that I think that because we want to believe this woman right here because she's an elder. You want to believe that the elders are wise, but some elders are foolish. Some elders have missed their teacher. So they're not going to be able to grow to the next step. Sister Ali has said the same thing. Only how women will grow to the next step is if they learn something different. Okay? That's only how a woman can grow. If she gets to the next step and learns something different. Because just like Sister Ali said, that all women, their mindset stops at 14. Now, I'm going to take it back a little bit further because I heard her one time say that all women stop when they experience trauma. So the trauma could be 5. The trauma could be 6. The trauma could be 7. The trauma could even be 4. Okay? The trauma could be at any age before 14. So that means that young woman stopped growing. She could be in be 27 years old in the body of a 27-year-old, but have the mind of a 5-year-old because she stopped growing because of the trauma. When my husband met me, I was in my 20s. But my mindset was the mind of a 5-year-old because that's when my trauma started at 5. Now I had that big butt and smile, okay? And that's what drawed him in. But there was a lot of teaching that he had to give me to get me to be the take heed that y'all see today. Now, am I perfect? I'm not perfect. But the thing is that I found my teacher. Most of y'all that are my age haven't even found your teacher. You may never find your teacher. You may have had him in the past and you messed up because your mouth ran this man away. Most of us don't even know how to talk to men. Most of us are so nasty when we're trying to talk. We don't know how to use our inside voice. Some of us don't know how to be feminine. But we want a man that we just met to pay for our nails and get your feet done. You just met this man. You don't know him from Adam. And this is your first date. And you say it's giving broke. You asking somebody to get your nails done and your feet done or whatever. That's giving broke, sis. That's giving broke. One thing about a Black man, and I got to say shout out to my brothers, when they start dating a woman and they're feeling her, she doesn't even have to tell him what she's lacking. She doesn't even have to tell him. He knows. He knows. Now, there may be times he spend the night at the house. He look up in her cabinets. He sees some of that stuff is empty. And before he leaves to go back to his house, he'll say, honey, look, I got this. Boom, boom, boom. Here you go. Go food shopping. It's too empty in here. You know what I'm saying? He may even see your hair and say, you know what, huh? Boom, boom, boom. You don't even have to do that or be nasty to this man and tell him, oh, you supposed to do this and you supposed to do that. The thing is, a Black man knows. He knows already.
Can I co-sign something like that? I don't care what people think about me, but this woman that I was with, take heed.
Mm-hmm.
I was invited to a who was it? Oh, it was a Keith Sweat and New Edition concert. And then I had access to the after. And I was dating this woman, right?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't care how this she was pretty in the face, pretty woman, pretty gorgeous woman, you know?
Right.
But she dressed homely all the time. So guess what I did? Because I wanted her to go to this thing with me and there was going to be some movers and shakers and whatever we call it there. Guess what I did? Just talking about liking a woman. I went and got her a stylist, a professional image consultant stylist, and dressed her from head to toe. It was an all day. It took her. They picked her up at 7:00 in the morning. I didn't hear from her until 1 hour before we were supposed to get ready to go. We need to go. Talking about because they had to do shopping, they had to do hair, they had to do all this stuff. And take heed, that was a $1,700 day.
Oh my God! You know what? I'm gonna share something with you.
When you like someone,
when you like them, yes, it's true.
When you like them, and let me tell you something. This was a year in. This wasn't at the beginning. This was a year in. So it's not like I did this crap coming in the door. I did this a year in. Maybe a little bit more than a year in. And let me tell you why I did. Let me tell you the major reason why I did it, Take Heed. In that year, she never asked me for anything.
Oh, wow. I like that. That's beautiful. I like it, but you know people gonna be calling you all types of names, but I like it. Yeah. I like it.
Oh, until they can do what I can do, they can go fuck themselves.
I like it. I like it.
I
Team
mean,
Peterson, thank
I,
you.
I mean, let me tell you something, Take Key. And I got it. We got to get going. Let me tell you something. We got all of these red. There is nothing wrong with a man, you know, pouring into a woman if she's earned it.
If she earns it, yes.
She was now, unfortunately, when I did that, her behavior went left on me because one, she's never experienced that before. Two, that was the first time she understood that I had it like that. That was the first time. You know what I'm saying? Up until that point, take heed. Most people looking at me on a day-to-day, I drive a 2008 Chevy truck. I wear scrubs every goddamn day and everywhere I go. I'm not blinged out. I'm a hardworking dude, but I'm mostly, I would say 80% of the time, I am very responsible with my money 80% of the time. So if I want, and that happened during a time where things were real plentiful for me. You know what I mean? But they didn't know it. She didn't know it because most guys who go out here and earn and work and be productive and build and save, we don't flash it. That's how I laugh at these ladies because they have no idea what a high earning man even looks like. They don't know what he looked like.
Oh no, they don't know what he
They
looks
have
like.
they have no idea. They have no fucking idea what they look like. And so, but that was the first indication to her that I had it like that. And then she started talking crazy, going left. You know what I mean? She said something pretty stupid to me to make me end it. You know what I mean? Because she referenced, there was an issue a situation she was going through. And she was like, well, you got it. I was done with her then. It don't fucking matter if I got it or not. If I'm telling you this is how you're going to fix the problem and it doesn't require me to have any money to do it, you don't get to reference what the money that I got. I was done with her at that point. And I told her, I said, you don't know how to operate with somebody who works as hard as I've worked to protect what he's protected. And I said to her, and you pretending like you got a history of dealing with men like that. You are accustomed to dope dealers and homeless men who work at the Chinaman place. You're not used to professional brothers.
I don't think most women are not.
And so
most women are not.
Yeah, up until that point, she was fine, and then all of a sudden, when she realized I had it like that, then her whole I don't know what she thought was going to happen. I don't know what the fuck she thought was going to happen after that, but it's okay. I enjoyed my night. It was nice looking at her. I enjoyed what happened afterwards. You understand what I'm saying? I enjoyed the hell out of it. But I know that was the last time she experienced anything like that.
I understand.
And then you move on. Percentage is when you understand when like I said, up at that point, she hadn't asked for anything. You know what I mean? It was a really just nice, it was progressing nicely. I thought this might be going somewhere. And then about 2 or 3 months after the big event, she started going left because she understood that I was in a position better than what she thought I was. A lot of times people look at what I do and don't understand what the money is that's attached to it. They look at what I do and don't think that that's a high earning position. When you already know that I work 60 hours a week at one and 35 at the other, you should be able to. White women do the math quick. When I talk to white girls, when they start to get to asking me and I decided to, okay, I do this and I do that. Do you know how quickly them hoes add up money?
Oh, I believe it. I believe it.
Their eyes start sparkling like diamonds. And I'd be like, you got to go about your fucking business.
I believe it.
You got to go. But I want to get to one more thing. Take heed. I'm not going to drop you down. I'm going to take you off screen. I'm going to get to that so we can get out of here. I got 15 minutes now. Get up out of here. But I pulled up something. I pulled up something from a previous stream that I did, that I wrote. And I'm going to read what I wrote because I thought it was fitting for this one, okay? And then I'm going to bring you back up to react to that, and then I'm going to go ahead and do my closing, all right?
No problem.
All right, hold on a second. All right. So this came from a stream that I did a while ago, and I want to share this with you, okay? And I thought it was fitting. And it said, while white women largely used feminism to demand equality with white men, black women absorbed it wholesale, redefining black women's roles in a way that destroyed traditional black family structure. Unlike other groups of women, black women often championed both independence and rejected the traditional male leadership roles. So now publicly, white women did too, but that was all lip service for the majority of them. And they did it publicly to keep the stupid ass black women fighting their fight for them. Because black women, especially because we now know black people, especially black women, ain't seen a scam or a scammer that they didn't like. The white women will be out in the streets burning their bras, then going home, cooking and serving their husbands and teaching their children. In 2024, white women gaslit black women into voting for Kamala Harris, publicly trashing, talking shit about Donald Trump and the Republicans, but then like clockwork, these women turned their backs on black women again. And they went on and voted for Donald Trump right alongside of their husbands. And once again, letting black women look stupid and holding the bag of a big L. How many more times are white women going to have to finesse black women before black women understand the only alliance is with your own black men? White women's ability to get black women to fight their fight while they lay up in the bed with their husbands and watch these black women take on white women's grievances and talking points, and then these white women watch black women burn down their own families to the ground. That shit that white women do, that shit is fucking diabolical. White women have been finessing the hell out of black women for 60 fucking years. And then what they do is they laugh in your face with the same annoying chuckle and cackle that Kamala Harris do. Tell me what I said that was wrong.
No, you said nothing that was wrong at all. You spoke nothing but the truth.
But our black women are the women out here that's barking about what not going 50-50 or not doing this, not contributing to their homes, while every other group of women is out there going 50-50 and contributing to their homes. Do you know that the majority of my department is white women that I work in, and they all work and they all are fucking married? While these white women are only having to work 2 or 3 days a week, the only other group of people in my department that work just as much as me is black women. Because they're all by themselves. These are 12-hour shifts, Takey. These women are working 4 or 5 days a week, just like I am. That's almost 6. For them, I work 60. I work the most. So we're talking about 50 some hours a week that these women are working 12-hour night shift. That shit is brutal on your body, on your mind, on your everything. I'm constantly tired. And these black women are working right alongside of me, hollering about what the fuck they not gonna do while the white women work too. The majority of the white women in our department are I would say about 80% of them are part-time or less. There's a white woman in my department I'm friendly with, which is kind of odd that I am, because I don't really care for them too much. But this girl, she came back to work 2 days a week. She'd been out of the work field for 4 years. And she said She hates the fact that she's back at work. But you know what she said to me? She said, I can no longer stand watching my husband work that hard.
No, that's right.
She goes, I can come here, get $1,100 a week, so my husband can spend another 2 days at home. She goes, I got sick of my husband killing him. I'm watching my husband. This girl is 33 years old. She goes, and her husband 37. She goes, I got sick of watching him kill himself for me and our child. I couldn't do it no more. She goes, so if I got to come here 2 days a week, it's just 2 days. So I don't lose my husband prematurely because he's working himself to death. She goes, and she said, I'd rather be at home, but I'd rather have him first. When's the last time you heard a fucking the average black woman talk like that?
You know, the thing is that you can only hear a woman talk like that, no matter what color she is if she loves her husband. You know, she worries about his well-being. She wants to see him live a ripe old age, live to see a ripe old age. It's very rare. Because even me, it hurts me to see my own husband work as hard as he does. Because I've always been a go-getter. But it hurts me. This is the first time in our marriage that I have not been able to assist as much as in the past. And it bothers me to my heart. And you know what he tells me? He kissed me on my forehead and he tells me, we have always worked together. And right now, one of us has to bring in more. And I rather it's me than you.
Ain't that some shit?
And I looked at him because in our marriage, how can I say this? In the beginning of our marriage, I brought in the lion's share. And I had a stupid girlfriend who used to say to me, why do you listen to your husband the way you do? Why do you treat him like that the way you do? And you bring in more than him, because we both worked at the same company, so she knew. You know, when you work for the Port Authority in New York and New Jersey, you made good money in their security department. So she knew I made more. And she says to me, I don't know how you can put up with that. And I looked at her, I said, he's my husband. He's my husband. I'm going to put up with it. He's my husband. And the thing is that my king, it always bothered him just a little bit because I had, I guess I was given, that vibe, like I was, a little nasty with it, And so my king was like, okay, you know what this man did? He went out there and got 2 jobs. 2 jobs. And started bringing home more money than me. Did this man change or anything? He didn't change one bit. He didn't act indignant or nothing. He just said to me that I want you to understand something. No matter if I make less or I make more than you, I'm your husband. I wear the pants in this relationship. You have my last name. I don't have yours. I asked you to marry me. You didn't ask me to marry you. My king said to me, you have to understand that you are mine. And I will not tolerate any disrespect. And I remember that day I just looked at him. And I have always looked at my husband as, like, royalty, even when I first met him. I always looked at him as royalty. He always looked at just regalness to me. But that day, that day was much worse. It was much worse. I knew I was in trouble. And so the thing is that I could have lost my husband because of listening to a foolish friend of mine who secretly wanted him in the end. But what I'm trying to say, ladies and gentlemen who are in the chat, is that in a marriage you have to work together. Some will bring in more and the other may not bring in more. There may be a 70-80. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, I said 70-80. I'm sorry. There may be an 80-20. You know what I'm saying? But 50-50, no. No. Stop believing this hype on social media. It doesn't work. It doesn't work.
Hold on. Did you just repeat what that white man said? Hold on a second.
Out of all the millionaires we studied, one of the key things they said that caused them to be able to build wealth was working together with their spouse. The data says the number one cause of divorce in North America today, money fights and money problems. Well, guess what? That's people who are not aligned on where their money's going. They're not talking about it. They're not combining things. It's just like you're over there in the corner doing stupid stuff and I'm throwing grenades at you and we get a divorce as a result. So, I don't, some of you have little independence problems or you've got other kind of little philosophical issues or something, but you're just wrong. It's just wrong. Okay? It's not morally wrong. It just doesn't work.
Long term.
Okay? And the data's in.
The white man said it don't work. And take heed. Men like that, men that talk like that shit just hit different. It just hit different. It just hit different. It just hit different when you're talking like that. Take key, I'm gonna drop you down real quick, and then I'm gonna do this conclusion and we'll be back, okay? All right, listen, everybody. Good show. But let me say this. Money over everything, 50-50, high value. Money over everything, high value, 50-50, rejecting 50-50. For me, this is how it feels. The gates of hell stand open day and night. And we walk through like we're going to a Drake versus Kendrick Lamar diss contest. But to retrace your steps and return to any sense of greatness, that task, once you walk through the gates of hell, is insurmountable. That is a haunting metaphor for the destructive consequences of the love of money and the impossibility of escaping its grip. It illustrates the allure of material wealth as a gateway to moral decay, as a gateway to personal ruin, and as a gateway to societal collapse. While the gates of hell symbolizes the constant, unrelenting temptation to prioritize money above everything else, the struggle to retrace your steps represent the difficulty to regain a sense of purpose and integrity. Let me end with this. It's story time here on Through the Fire podcast. For those of you who are left, put some flames in the chat for story time. 3 visitors approached Abraham. We're talking about Lot's uncle. As Abraham, rested in the heat of the day by the great trees of Mimar. Actually, it's Mimar. These visitors were no ordinary men. They were messengers. They were messengers of the Lord, sent was a purpose that would shake the foundation of the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah. Abraham, who was a very hospitable man, prepared a meal for them, and these visitors, they dined, and one of them decided to reveal their mission. The sins of Sodom and Gomorrah were so egregious that the Lord had decided to destroy both cities entirely. Those words struck Abraham like a thunderstorm, like a thunderclap. He knew what these cities represented: a cesspool of moral corruption, moral decay, and worst of all, unrepentant sin. But he also knew his nephew Lot lived there with his family. And he just couldn't stand by and just allow this to happen, just allow it to happen. With this heart full of humility, Abraham went on bended knee and he approached the Lord. And he says, "Will you sweep away the righteous with the wicked, Lord?" Abraham asked God. And with boldness of a man pleading for justice, bargaining with God, Abraham says to him, "If 50 righteous people can be found, would you, God, please spare the city?" And the Lord said, "Yeah, you find 50. Abraham went on and could not find 50. He went back to the Lord. If I found 30, the Lord said, "Okay." Abraham went, he could not find 30. Abraham went down to 20. He could not find 30. And then he went to the Lord. He goes, "Lord, listen, I can't find 20. But if I can find 10 righteous people, will you spare?" And the Lord said, "For the sake of 10, I will not destroy these cities." Meanwhile, in Sodom, Lot sat at the city gate, a position that signified that he was a man of some standing. When two angels arrived that evening, Lot recognized their divine nature, insisted they come into his home for the night. But the angels, they reluctantly agreed, but as the night fell, the true depravity of Sodom was revealed. The men of the city, young and old, surrounded Lot's house, demanding that he bring out the visitors so they could do what they do best with them. And Lot, in a desperate attempt to protect his guests, stepped aside and pleaded with the mob. "Don't do this wicked thing," he said to the mob. Shockingly, Lot even offered his daughters, good Lord, offered his daughters to the crowd in the place of his visitors. And a decision that revealed the cultural and moral decay at the time. But the mob was not deterred. They didn't want the women. They wanted those visiting men. They tried to push past Lot and was trying to break down Lot's door. The angels intervened, pulling Lot back inside and striking some of the men outside with blindness. Then they turned to Lot with a chilling command: "Get your family, get out of this place, because we are going to destroy it." The outcry to the Lord against his people is so great, he has sent us to destroy this place. Lot rushed to warn his future son-in-law, but they laughed at him, thinking he was joking. Morning came quickly, and the angels urged Lot to leave. But even then, Lot hesitated. The angels grabbed his hand along with the hands of his wife and daughter and led them out of the city. "Flee for your lives," they commanded. "Don't look back. Don't stop anywhere on the plain. Flee to the mountains, or you'll be swept away." Lot, in a moment of weakness, pleaded to them, "Please, my lords, if I've found favor in your eyes, let me flee to a small town nearby instead of the mountains, such as a little town that they call. It's such a little town, can it be spared?" And the angels granted his request, and Lot and his family set way to the small town of Zar. But Their warning remained clear. Under no circumstances should you look back. The angels came with the wrath of God. Fire, sulfur rained down on them from the heavens, consuming everything, homes, fields, livestock, and the people. The cities of Sodom and Gomorrah were reduced to ashes. A sobering testament to what happens when sin festers unchecked. Lot and his family fled, but as they ran, Lot's wife disobediently made a fatal mistake. Despite the angel's warning, she looked back out of curiosity. Curiosity killed the cat, y'all. Longing for a life she was leaving behind, whatever the reason, she was disobedient, and instantly she was turned into a pillar of salt, frozen as a monument to the dangers of clinging to a sinful past. Lot and his daughters continue on, reaching Zoar safely. From the mountain heights, they could see the smoke and ashes from the plains, grimming reminder of the judgment that just been fallen by the wicked. Now, Lot's story is one of a contrast. It has divine mercy and judgment, and human frailty, faith, destruction, and salvation all in it. Abraham's wanting to intercede with God reminds of how powerful and how gracious God can be, because he said, if you could find just 10, I'll spare the city. But it's also a story that warns against moral absence, complacency, and disobedience. The destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah stands as a stark warning. When a culture becomes so consumed by hard-headedness and a diabolical nature and greed and refuses to turn around, that culture sets itself on a collision course with its own damn demise. So, as we imagine the smoke of Sodom and Gomorrah rises in the annals of history, the question for me remains this: will we, Black folks, be next? And I can answer that boldly, honestly, and without any equivocation. Black people love to be finessed, and we worship those doing the finessing. Black people are the new Sodom and Gomorrah. We are a stage 4 hospice cancer patient and don't know it. There's nothing left for us but comfort care. In anyone else's hands, this is just a microphone. In our hands tonight, it's a pipe bomb.